I can't believe how far we've got through day one of the festival. We've looked at so many different forms of specialized masters, and in all of those cases, how the world's top business schools are attracting international talent from all over the world. And as you'll see, we have a truly global citizen joining us for this next session. It's my pleasure to welcome Janice Moore-Campbell. Janice is the Senior Director of Graduate School Professional Development at the Fox School of Business at Temple. And with her, Julia, remind me, Julie Hauger, yeah, who
Yes,
graduated last year, 2022, from the MS in Financial Analysis at Fox, and now has a great research associate position at M Science. She'll tell you about her background and a very international story that then brought her to Temple. But perhaps, Janice, we can start with you and sharing just a little bit about the Fox School, life in Philadelphia, and what it is that makes it such a great place that attracts students from all over the world.
Well, thank you so much for inviting us and we are very excited to talk about the Fox School of Business and Temple University, and today specifically about the MS in Financial Analysis. Temple University is located in the heart of Philadelphia, and it is a large urban university of about 20,000 students. The Fox School of Business, we have several professional schools, medical, dental, law, but the Fox School of Business is among the largest. It is actually the largest undergraduate graduate program at Temple University. And I say that because although we are a large school, the programs tend to be intimate. So the students have a wonderful city, and it is an international city, but the opportunity to build strong relationships, which is what graduate school is all about, in addition to the technical, is absolutely there. So we are thrilled to talk about it, and we can talk about it all day. The specialized master's program that we're here today to talk about is one of the finest in the nation, and Julie is a wonderful representative of that. And our specialists in admissions are happy to talk to any student who's interested in quantitative analysis about all of the ins and outs of the program. As you know, it is a very technical degree. And the wonderful thing about that is students with that financial analysis background can go into all sorts of industries. Absolutely, math, statistics, and quantitative analysis is at the heart of all business. And we always need numbers to justify and support business decisions.
Right. Well, Janice, you remind me of walking through downtown Philadelphia and seeing that big red and white T on so many buildings of the campus. And then, of course, the opportunities that it creates. Now, the Fox School offers a tremendous portfolio of specialized master's programs. There's the MBA, online versions as well as in person. Tell us a little bit about the MS in Financial Analysis. Given that heavy sort of quant focus, who is it best suited for, and the sort of careers that Julie and her classmates are then pursuing?
Very interesting question, because the diversity of backgrounds that come into the program emphasizes the breadth of what one can do with a degree of specialized master's in financial analysis. Risk management, looking at pricing, at building complex models is at the heart of the program, and it's quite intense. However, the faculty, and especially the academic director, is with the students every step of the way. Obviously, you need to be strongly math focused if you enter a program such as this. But the wonderful thing about the faculty and the academic director is that our goal is to have every student succeed. And our faculty director of the academic director of the specialized master's program in the quant is extremely involved with the students. This helps our alumni network and actually is quite instrumental in helping our students get placement at the end of the program. So it is a contiguous from, I would say pre-matriculation all the way through to graduation and beyond, We are building an alumni network all the time. I like to say to every student, every interaction is an interview. And so if we look at it that way, and we do ask students to do that, then with everyone with whom they interact is getting an impression of them. So our role in career services is to help them present their best selves to everyone, no matter where or when the encounter takes place.
Well, no doubt, Julie, Fox alumni in Scandinavia, where you grew up and went to high school, and then, of course, you studied business, finance, entrepreneurship in Shanghai with NYU. So what was your thinking in terms of next steps in your career, the MBA or something more generalized versus the specifics of the MS in financial analysis? To take us through your decision and, of course, why you choose Fox.
Yeah, so I had a couple years professional experience when I started to look into a professional degree. In particular, the pace of a one-year program I found very appealing. Something, having the option to do it at an accelerated pace. I did consider an MBA program, but I did have a very specific idea of the hard skills that I wanted to develop. That was something that was very important for me to get out of the program. And so I felt that, a specific or a specialized master's program would be more suitable to that versus the focus that you'll see more at MBA programs. I looked at 1-year and 2-year programs. I wanted to enroll full-time and more if I could. And I ended up attending a lot of events at different schools, not unlike this, to be able to hear from administration and alumni to really get an impression. And when I came across Temple and the MSFA program, I was just so impressed with how student focused the program was, how dedicated the alumni and the administration came across. It was really clear to me from the very onset that their focus was the success of the students and how they could help students make the most of that degree experience. I also love that the program incorporated a CFA focus, which is pretty unique. Even if you choose not to pursue the charter, it's a very tangible thing to talk about when you are going through the interview process because the CFA charter is so recognizable. There is a set, skills and knowledge that you can discuss, and people have a familiarity with it. So there's a level of tangibility there, and recognition that I think was very beneficial.
Right. And as you say, CFA has global recognition for somebody as globally minded as you.
Yeah. And there was also a lot of technology that was incorporated into the program. Analytics courses, data science, developing coding skills and familiarity with softwares like Tableau, which are all, important skills and very useful skills when you're going into, the next stage of your professional career. And there is a lot of flexibility built into the program in being able to pursue charters like the CFA, designed to help you reach your goals. And there's so many resources. There's so many resources at Temple, and there are so many people at the school that are accessible to you to help you take advantage of them in the way that is best suited for you and your goals.
Can I follow up on that?
Yeah.
Let me say that the CFA is such a recognizable imprimatur and a bona fide, if you will. But I'd have to say, across our large portfolio of specialized master's programs, we also have opportunities for students to pursue certifications. Our MS in ITACs, our Information Technology and Cybersecurity, offers a CISA and other certifications. Our MS in HR, our Human Resources, allows students to sit for the PHR program. So all of these wonderful, that's the wonderful thing about having a specialized master's. You're really digging deep, and you do come out with a credential in addition to the degree.
Yeah, I can see the benefits of that, and I'm sure, Julie, the 12 months and the advantages that that brought. At the same time, it must have gone by so quickly. Tell us a
So
little bit about that learning experience, both for the technical skills that you'd identified in the program at Fox and really wanted to develop, but perhaps certain intangibles, and your own personal learning journey. What did you learn about yourself?
yeah, I'll start with the tangible stuff. I think the way that the courses are taught, and especially your professors are coming from careers that are very parallel to what you could go on to after your degree. So there's a lot of real life examples that are built into the classroom. There's a lot of relevance that is incorporated into the curriculum, and you're getting exposure to data research, whether it's fundamental based or alternative data based, which is what I work with now. You do valuations of real companies, analyses of real companies and industries. So you're learning very tangible, very applicable hard skills. And I think that that was an incredibly exciting thing. From day one, you're seeing the relevance of what you're learning, and you're able to actually see it in the context of what you'll be doing post degree. And I think that being able to build up that motivation to really put in the work to class is easier when you can really conceptualize and see that goal clearly. The intangibles are a little trickier. It really depends on the student, depends on what you make of the experience and what you put into it. You are an adult when you enter a master's program. You are treated as such. And like I said, there's so many resources, but it's up to you to make the most of them. So I learned that I really like to absorb as much as I can, and I want to learn all about the resources. I want to see, how much of this can I experience, how much of it can I incorporate. But I really, you get to see how much knowledge and how much experience your professors carry with them, and how great they can be in guiding you into a good path and bringing in the resources, or guiding you to the resources that will be most valuable in that path. It's not a linear path from the degree and out into a career. There's so many things you can do with it. But being able to absorb as much as I could was fun, but also you had to develop a skill of whittling it down just a little bit, because there's so much you can't take in all of it. So that was I think that was a good intangible skill, learning to whittle down all of the things you wanted to do and really get focused. Yeah, I think also building up your professional profile is something that, props to the CSPD, although I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself there, but CSPD is such a great resource in helping to prepare you for interviews, building a great resume, getting a little bit more fluid and fluent in networking. We had elevator pitch sessions, things like that. These are all great skills that you might think that you have down, that you've worked on it, but you can always improve that. And the more exposure you get, the more you get to practice, the better.
Yeah. Now, Janice, I can see you nodding with that one. Already faculty that are helping to guide the path, and both of you have emphasized student success and both the personal journey, the professional outcomes at science and elsewhere that they're enjoying. So how do you then combine the technical skills, the curiosity that Julie was able to pursue at Fox, with the career support, through coaches, experts that are accompanying with them, refining those interview skills, networking skills, and everything else? How does that work at the school?
So at the center, I'll just use a technical skill, for example. Julie mentioned Tableau. Well, I would say almost all of our specialized master's programs include a significant exposure to Tableau, which is a wonderful way to tell a story. But if your verbal fluency does not match, everything in the world can't be really, really nice, which basically gave us no information. So what I would say to you is we push you to integrate and to help. You'll have the technical skills, that's wonderful. But if you're unable to help with that vocabulary, the story might fall flat. So one of the things I will say for all students, MBA or MS, but in particular for MS because they're coming in with such a specialized degree, is that nothing changes if nothing changes. You are getting the technical skill, but the employer or our employers is looking for more. The package that it comes in matters. And so we work very closely with students, to be frank, on skills they might not necessarily be as open as Julie to changing. So all of our specialized master's students, I would say, are very good students. They're very good at learning. So sometimes, as our office has learned, we have to reach out and put our arms around the student and help them encounter or face or do some self-reflection and some self-assessment on the way I communicate with others. These are skills that are going to help you wherever you are, regardless of the specialized masters. How you communicate matters. Words matter. And so our goal is to help every specialized master's student and MBA too, but add value every time they communicate. We also want, and Julie probably could attest to this, our philosophy at the Center for Student Professional Development, which is just a fancy word for Career Services Office. Our CSPD focuses on helping every student leverage their unique difference. Let's be honest, they're all getting the same education. Everyone's getting the same, everyone knows how to calculate their present value at the end of their time. However, the way it hits each student is different, and the way the student brings it out is different. So our job is to help each student be more you, be more of who they are, given that foundation, that academic foundation, and whatever the discipline. But our goal is to help the student be more them, B, to help them add value every time they communicate, and C, help them leverage that unique difference so that the employer sees everyone is different. Yes, the education is the same, but it hits differently, and how it is expressed is different. And so those are the three principles on which we guide our services to students. We do wrap our arms around them, and sometimes we deliver messages that are hard to hear, but mostly we do it in love. I'm sure Julie will tell you. The team is there to help you, but again, nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yeah. With what Janice is describing, Julie, and of course, coming out of the program last year, you already have this Equity Research Associate position at M Science. Do you have that sense that, there are skills, of course, again, technical skills, but just others within an institution or corporation that continue to serve you very well as you're building the next steps of your career?
Sorry, could you repeat just the last portion of the question?
With the sort of skills that Janice is describing, and now you have this Equity Research Associate position at M Science, do you feel that everything that you've learned, both about yourself, communicating with others, continues to serve you well to add the value that Janice is describing?
Oh, absolutely. I think that not only are you coming out with a vast number of developed skills, hard and soft skills, but you're learning how to apply them and how to develop them, which is really an ongoing, constant thing. You don't go through a degree and then you come out, you're done. you're ready now. You're going through a rigorous learning experience, but through that you're learning how to learn, if that makes sense. And like which was said, you know, you're learning a lot about yourself and you're learning how to harness opportunities to best serve your goals, your personality, your skills as well. And I think that, you know, that's something that I'm I'm learning and working on those skills every day. And I think that, you know, in any job, that's going to be part of it. You know, you don't come into a job completely prepared to do all of it. There is an onboarding process. Um, and that's that's always going to happen. That's going to follow you through the rest of your career. But you are a lot more equipped and a lot more prepared to go through that. If that answers your question.
You certainly developed your public speaking skills as Centre Court
Yes. I was a CFA Research Challenge participant, so that was a big
right.
portion
Oh,
of that.
yeah. Oh my God.
Which is so much fun. If there's ever a way to apply everything that you're learning in the program into something that is very tangible and a great thing to discuss in interviews, it is the CFA Research Challenge. That is everything. It is analysis, it's writing, it's presentation, it's Q&A, everything rolled into one, and it's fun. At least I think so. And I ended up in equity research afterwards. So there was a very nice line from there.
Janice, are the qualities and the talent that you see in Julie, is that something that recruiters often comment, you know, something that they particularly appreciate about Fox students?
I would say in particular, that is something that our employers love. And that is, it's not just the technical skill, it's the ability of these students to show who they are throughout the entire interview process. We don't encourage cookie cutter answers because that would be dumb. So, you know, we really want to help a student with their narrative, helping them to develop who I am and how to add value because of the way I chat or way I talk. When you get on the elevator with the CEO, how do you introduce yourself to him? How do you state? Do you show organizational awareness? Do you say, oh, I'm the new intern? Or instead, I'm on Tony's team in portfolio pricing. You know, there are many ways to show organizational awareness other than I'm the new intern. So again, you know, all of these things have an importance that, oh, wow, she understands that the CEO might not know who she is, but the CEO knows who her boss's boss is. Wow, she knew exactly where to fly in. That's intelligence, you know, and also kindness. To be honest with you, many people will walk into a large office building downtown and say, it was raised right, and they say hello to the security officer. Not everybody says, hello, Jamal. Someone who's emptying your trash, of course you're going to turn and say thank you. Some people say, thank you, Maria. So some of these things that we emphasize have to do with the humanity of others, seeing people, and key leadership metrics. If the student graduates and goes into an entry-level graduate job, and this is another thing we always chat with you, entry level is not a synonym for low level. So yes, it's an entry-level graduate role, okay? But you're not obviously a VP yet. So it's entry level, not a synonym with low level. But all of these things, and the appropriate use of names is a key leadership metric. So these are the skills that we emphasize. A resume, okay, it's great. You know, we said that's stuff. But the employer is looking for, is the student client facing ready? How is the student using language? Do they know how to take their eyes off of themselves? These are the things that make our team alive. Is what we live for, to help students be more of who they are. And I would have to say at the Fox School, that's what we focus on, and I know our team does it well.
I love this because we've gone from the mastery of Tableau to the importance of empathy and you know how all of those things matter. So Julie, as our viewers, as they think about their next steps and having heard your story, advice that you would have, you know, both investing in themselves and the importance of that, and how to find the right program, and obviously Fox, you know, specifically.
I think having a good sense of what your values are and what you value, and really what your end goal is with a professional degree. Um, Having a clear picture of what you want to get out of it, outside of um, just the degree. What are you hoping to take away from it? What are the things that are important, and what are the things that you want to learn outside of the classroom? Um, I think one of my biggest pieces of advice, which is actually advice that I got my first week at Temple, I believe, is take advantage of the resources and go to CSPD and sit with them and spend time with them. I'm my first class at Temple, someone stood up at the end of class and said, I just had my first session with CSPD last week. I advise all of you to go. First thing I did. There is a very open door policy with, faculty and administration at the school, and you really take the initiative to go and have those conversations and engage with people, because they have so much knowledge and they have so much to offer. Make use of your alumni. I think that's an incredible thing at Temple is the alumni are so dedicated to the school, and they are so willing to help their students, more so than any other alumni network that I've been part of or been in touch with. Temple has so much empathy, I think is a succinct way to put it. But taking that initiative, being willing to speak up and ask questions, I think will serve you so well at Temple, but also at any school. But I think at Fox, there's a lot of heart to receive those questions, and I think that's unique.
Perhaps, Janice, just a final few words, and I'm mindful of the time, but as we think about an open door policy, as we think about the very student-centric experience that Julie had when she first reached out to the school that left such an impression on her, next steps for viewers to reach out to alumni, to connect with the school, what would you recommend?
Well, I would say absolutely chat with our admissions team. They are happy to connect you to, if you want to talk to career services, or if you, whomever you want to talk to. I mean, you can connect with alum like Julie, and Julie is special. I won't lie. I mean, she's a very talented person, and I might add, who came in with a plan. So I would say the students who, I'm not talking out of both sides of my mouth, but students who come in with a plan are very happy at the end of their time with us. That's not to say they're not open to listening to other people, but you have to help us help you. And so yes, the work, I mean, I'm passionate about 25 million things, but helping you whittle that down is part of our job. But you have to help yourself by thinking about a plan when you apply to graduate school, especially for specialized master's students.
Well, I have to thank you both, because it's not often at Centre Court that we get to put our arms around a student, the love, even when it's tough love, but the humanity alongside, of course, the career success that you're now enjoying, Julie. So both of you, Janice, Julie, thank you for the breadth of that discussion and how people can absorb and think about that. I think it'd be incredibly thought-provoking in a very, very positive way. Thank you to both of you.
Okay, and thank you, Matt.